Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mock Girl Summer, Women of Fantasy Football's mock draft show here on both the Club Fantasy and WOFF YouTube channels. Guess what? This is episode 3. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. I'm your host, Wendi Earley, and I'm going to welcome in my co-host from Fantasy Footballers, Footballguys, and the Leslie Knope of her generation, Julia Papworth.
Hi.
Julia, how's it going?
Good, Wendi. How you doing?
Oh, good. I missed you so much last week, but I hope you had a great time. We're going to talk about that later. I know where you were at. I was so jealous. But Howard stepped in. Howard Bender did a fantastic job filling in for you, though.
Love it.
Yes, in tonight's episode, we'll be covering a Scott Fishbowl 14 mock draft, which is a season-long redraft tournament. It's a super flex, tight end premium setting, but it also has some crazy scoring, so I hope that our drafters all did their homework. Our special guest tonight is everyone's favorite tracksuit hero. I can't even hardly say that without laughing. I'm sorry. Joey Wright. You may know Joey as the community ambassador of Footballguys or for his contributions at Front Yard Fantasy as the winningest staff member in company history, and his hilarious series of videos, starts, sits, and salutations. Joey also donates his spare time rehabilitating orphan raccoons and teaching sign language to pigeons. Welcome, Joey. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Let me tell you, Wendi, you are doing a phenomenal job, but you did make one mistake today when you said I could write my own intro. Like, that was the only mistake that you have made today. I am so excited to be here with both of you tonight. I've done many of shows with Julia, but Wendi, this will be our first ride together, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready to do a Scott Fishbowl mock draft. This is going to be a great night.
Oh, man, thank you so much. And I didn't actually say you could write I just asked for a little bit of a bio just so I could write some questions. And when I'm sending things back on, I'm dead. I'm like, I can't wait to read this.
Well, that's the second version. The first version we could not read.
No, I could not read. I barely got through this one, okay?
You did great.
But thank you, everybody, for joining us. I quickly want to run through the drafters and thank everyone before we start. I had somebody that had to drop out. Jamie had to drop out tonight. They had a little storm come through, but she's doing okay. And, of course, some of our friends over in the chat at the Club Fantasy Chat mock draft group, they hopped in to help and filled us all up, filled the whole draft up. So we are so excited. Thank you guys for that. So we want to remind everyone that this is a Scott Fishbowl 14 mock draft with the wide receiver is half PPR, tight end premium. However, Sleeper does not allow the scoring change during mock drafts. So, you're not going to see that's going to affect the ADP a little bit. So keep in mind, it is tight end premium. And also keep in mind, Scott threw in some crazy scoring this year. So hopefully everyone is taking a look at that. Have you guys done your homework? Julia?
I like to think I have. Yes.
All right.
I did review today. I reviewed today. Joey, did you review today?
I have built a custom spreadsheet for myself that will make sure that I finish at least second last in my division.
I love it.
I think I have it figured out this year.
Make sure to share it with me on Google Docs.
I will. No, I mean, I do think that the return yardage is going to be a factor this year.
100%.
So I have bumped those players up in my rankings. Tight ends, I've moved up a little bit, but it's been interesting seeing how the scoring breaks down with the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, and the running backs, because it does kind of make some of these super flex builds a little interesting of how you can actually do them. So I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I know what you're going to do tonight. You're going to get sniped. You're going to get sniped tonight. That's what you're going to do.
Maybe.
It kind of worked out like that, but
Calvin, what's up, Calvin?
I know, you guys, we have all of these people in the chat, and this is my first time. I'm telling you, I'm looking and I'm like, wow, all of these people are coming to see you guys. We all know this.
No.
So
no.
These are all of our friends, and we really appreciate that. So let's take a look at what we're going to do here. I did want to, before we start, real quick, I do want to know why each of you picked. Joey, you actually picked spot 8 first before anyone else picked. So Are you sure?
You're 9, right? Yeah, Joey?
Yeah, I'm
you're
9.
Oh, you're 9. Okay, so why did you go with 9?
Oh, so I actually just switched my Scott Fishbowl spot over. Somebody in my league did not want the 6 spot, and I had been practicing from the 6 spot for a couple weeks, and I was like sharp. And then I'm like, I want this guy to have fun, so I'm going to take the 9 spot. And I've been struggling, but I took the 9 spot tonight because that's where I am in the Fort Lauderdale live draft. In just 8 days, I'll be drafting that league. So
it's in 8 days. How is this?
We are the first ones. Yep.
How has this time gone so quickly? Oh, good Lord.
So yeah, I'll be Kyle. What's up, Kyle?
I know. Gosh,
Hi, Kyle.
Keep up, but yeah.
There's Kyle.
All right, so we are going to go ahead. We are going to pull up the draft board here.
Wendy, don't you want to ask me why I chose spot number 8?
Oh, yes, I do. I thought everyone knew, but can you please?
It's just really clear because Joey picked 9, so I had to pick 8.
I mean, I didn't have anything to do with that. I want everyone to know that I was not involved in that in any way, shape, or form.
It's actually close enough to my draft spot. I'm a 7, so I was like, it's okay. I can sort of go to 8.
Oh, so yeah, so you're
we're in the same vicinity.
Yeah, you're adapting a little bit. So, but yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started. And so here we go. All right, so we are on a 1-minute clock, and it is a 3rd round reversal, everyone. So be prepared for that. We've got Dame in the house here. Thank you for joining us.
What is up?
Hey, Scampers is here.
He is. They kind of hang out together.
They do.
It's like they're married or something.
Oh, it's so weird.
Joey, what do you think about the Banana Stand Dynasty question here?
So is there a platform you'd recommend that allows for mocks with all of these fishy scoring settings? They're so fishy. I think it's really tough to find a mock that exactly like kind of parrots the scoring. But what I've been doing is there's a lot of Discords out there. I'm going to just shout as I think it's going for 2. Has a fantastic Discord for Scott Fishbowl mock drafts. And the people you're in there with, as long as the position settings are correct, you'll get a good mock draft out of it and a good feel of what people can do. But also, people are unpredictable. And when you actually get in your Scott Fishbowl mock draft or real draft, you're not going to know what's going on. You're going to be like, what? That didn't happen. But that's what we mock to prepare for those things.
Yes.
Bro Cal, oh my gosh, Bro Cal is like one of my OG drafters over at Front Yard Fantasy. He's always been our mocks. Good to see you, Bro Cal.
You're bringing the people, Joey.
No, not at all.
Oh boy.
All right, so how do you guys feel, Julia? How do you feel about stacking in the Scott Fishbowl? If that falls into your lap, are you going to stack like an elite quarterback with an elite wide receiver?
Yeah, I am quite a big fan of stacking. I'm not going to go out of my way if like the ADP, if it's a big reach to get there. I like to try, if I can, with these mocks to see what stacks could potentially fall to me. Look who it is.
Holy moly. He's in the house, everyone.
What's going on?
Enjoying a drink out on the patio.
That's what I like to do.
How did you get in here?
You know, Josh Hudson sent me a link. So
did he? Okay.
Good Lord.
And Joey Wright sent me a link. So I felt like people are sending me links. I should probably jump on in.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we are so honored to have you here there, Scott Fish. And today it's super cool that you're here because everyone that's going, I think everyone that's going to be live drafting got their division invites today. I was so excited when I saw that come through, and I know everyone else was too. So it's cool that you're here today. Did they all go out?
Just the live ones. We want to get those people in quick because we have drafts going off 9 days from now. So we want to get people in.
I'm doing it.
Uh-oh.
I'm going Laporta. I'm doing it.
Oh boy.
I know.
Nice.
Let's see what happens. Okay.
Oh, okay. So I want to know, like Laporta, he's the guy, right, Julia? But
I'm just I just really like him a lot.
Yep, I agree. I do
Yeah,
too.
he's really.
Nope,
Yeah.
that's not true, Calvin. That's I'm here. but
Scottish
not
royalty in the
royalty.
house.
Yeah.
oh look, hey, he just
awesome.
got
Good
his
job getting
invite
the invite.
today.
Yay!
Yes.
Nice.
Love
Nice.
seeing that.
I did not authorize that. I'll have to go look into how that happened.
You can't take it back now, Scott. Once it goes out, you can't take it back.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Oh man.
Yeah, the draftees were awesome this
I
year.
did not see those yet.
Oh, I haven't seen the actual draftee. I've seen like just the t-shirts on the website.
Oh yeah.
Do we know what the draftee is yet?
The live draft shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the MGM logo.
Oh,
beautiful.
nice.
Bob tweeted it out actually just a little bit ago. So I got 3 compliments on this one today alone.
I like it.
The Disney one.
I love it.
Paramount. I think
I love
Paramount's
the
still
whole
my
vibe.
favorite.
The Potathon shirts the last 2 years have been awesome. That's for sure.
Ooh, we're coming to it,
Scott,
guys.
what are you drinking there, Scott?
This is just what is this? This is just a rum and coke.
Just
that's right.
rum and coke.
It's a rum and coke zero. Yeah.
Oh, so Bob did tweet it. All right. So it's interesting. On the turn there, my friend RJ, he took Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson. With the new scoring, I mean, it is a wide receiver. I guess those are 2 elite wide receivers, though. So that's a pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people wondering about if Hill's going to take some returns because he did all the returns in college. So, and he's been known to do returns in the NFL. So that could of these superstar wide receivers, he's the one that's a little bit interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So what made you decide to? I mean, were you just laying in bed one day and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna make return yards a thing this year."
Nah, I mean the NFL did that. Like every year I have reasons for doing things. Like the video game year, I made the scoring thematic with bonuses like video games have. And the year people were all up in arms about our sacks, a quarterback sack or an stat or an offensive line stat. I made sacks a thing in the league. This year with the kickoff return rule change, I'm going to bring that up so that it's just something people will talk more about. Something that'll and if you do something normal, people won't talk much about it because returners don't do much. But if you make it super extreme, it might actually change the way you look at a draft or change the way you approach waivers week 1, week 2, week 3. You might actually take a look at what's going on with that.
It would have been, God, it was a long time ago. I was in a league where we played all the way through the Super Bowl. You didn't go against anyone. It was just accumulating points. And, obviously you got to keep your players who continued on and everyone else sort of dropped off. And you had to draft a punt returner. And it was the year that Seattle won the Super Bowl and I had Percy Harvin.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah,
Nice.
I massacred that year. It was great. It was a really fun league. But yeah, it's just that one memory of it. It makes it so interesting because you're watching those kickoffs and you're like,
Yeah.
that tackle, just go.
Yep.
As I was playing with the scoring, I do think we're going to see a kick returner go in the first round. I really just seeing how much they can score. Yes, I do. I think someone's going to do it.
Someone's going to do do it. Yeah, 100%.
I see people take him in the 3rd, and sometimes it's Rashid Shaheed.
That's what I thought too. Yeah,
it's all right.
That's not the one that I would want, but
I know
he's
people.
a good one.
I will throw out the Shaheed, the Mims, all those, but
Mims.
When I was on another show. Shaheed went in the mid-3rd, and I'm like, what would be the most Saints thing ever? Taysom Hill with his rugby style back there, returning kicks to get through that line.
Good Lord, it would be. It totally would be.
Ever to have Taysom Hill take the turn.
That is the most thing, yeah. Look at that stack, that Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews stack. That's a nice
I
one.
Pretty.
see that.
Well done.
How'd you guys let Brittany get that? Come on.
That's real nice. Well, that's the coolest thing about mocking too. And it doesn't have to be you getting the stack. Like you start to see, there'll be like 2 or 3 or 4 of them where you're like, okay, if that's the spot where I'm at, I might be able to get both of those people. So it's nice to see it.
That is so crazy. Hey, Scott, which live drafts are you attending this year?
I am doing, so week 1 is Vegas. That's next week. And the projected temperature is between 107 and 109. So I'm
that's real hot out here.
Super excited for that. I'm actually really excited for the draft. As a Minnesota boy who 80 is warm for me, I'm not excited for the temperature.
Oh, but it's a dry heat. Isn't that what they say? It's a dry heat. I'm like, I don't care. When it's 109.
Yeah. My parents live in Arizona. It's not wrong. 100 in Arizona is like 75 in Minnesota. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
But there's a point where hot is just hot. It doesn't matter. It's just hot. So no, Vegas week 1, Denver week 2, Minnesota week 3. And then week 4 of the live drafts, I'm in LA on Saturday. And then I red eye to Boston for the next day.
Oh my God.
It's funny. I've been talking to people about those flights. Like I fly into LA the same morning as like James Roday. We're going to get over to the drafts. and then I'm red eyeing out with Eric Froton and Jeff Ratcliffe to get to the Boston live because we're all going to that. So
good Lord.
That's a documentary. Like film that like on the road with you 3.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah.
I actually weirdly I think we all 3 of us have different flights.
Oh really?
Please tell me that you have TSA pre-check.
I do.
Okay.
I have clear and pre-check. So
okay.
Yeah, I get through the last time I was at LAX, I think it took maybe 5 minutes to get through the line just because I had both.
That's good because LAX is horrible. LAX is horrible.
Yeah. 11:45 at night though isn't too bad.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So Gators noticing only 6 wide receivers through 2 rounds. So it's
very different than some other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing I've loved about every mock I've seen is like we were averaging 9 to 10 quarterbacks in the first round for the last couple of years. And now it's down to 5 or 6 in this year, which I'm enjoying the diversity of the first few rounds.
Yeah.
And I think quarterback is super deep, even in this format. Like you can score points all over the board, but I mean, there's probably 26 quarterbacks I like this year that I'd be okay starting because I'm falling in love with Bryce Young. So more and more each day.
It's all Dave Canales. That's all it is for me.
That's exactly right.
I'm in the middle of writing about him right now, and I'm like, everything I write, I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah.
I'm like,
did it with Geno twice, and he did it with Baker. It's like,
I mean, the thing is, if he can't do it with Bryce Young, is Bryce Young left for dead? Like, because if Canales has done it with 3 players,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't want this poor man to be left for dead. It's horrible.
Alan, I would rather not someone be documenting my life for the next month.
Oh, Jaden Daniels gone.
There'd be a whole lot of packing kids lunches and dropping kids off, picking kids up, and
I think there's probably you're probably documented enough, Scott. You probably don't get enough private time as it is.
My son is on his overlap, like his sports. My son plays 4 sports, so they overlap a lot. He's on his flag football and baseball overlap right now, so it's like every other night. There's almost every night. It feels like
same. Our kid is like baseball insane right now. I think we have like a 4-day tournament starting tomorrow. Okay. I don't know how these kids play. I was tired. I've been tired since I was like 5 years old. This kid is never tired.
Yep. I don't get it either.
So
So Joey, I saw that it kind of hurt
Yes.
a little bit with Jaden Daniels one. Is he kind of like one of your guys there or something?
In this format, I don't think we're going to see him rush for 1,000 yards as a rookie because I just don't think that's going to happen, or probably in a second year. But I think 800 is a number that we could see out of Daniels this year. And in this format, where running quarterbacks do score you more points, I like it quite a bit. I see him getting a lot of first downs. Yeah.
This is what I love about this. I just watched an hour ago Jaden Daniels go at the 2.11.
Wow.
So it's just so different no matter what. And it's like, so it seems like no matter how much you're going to prepare for a draft, it just can go rogue as soon as it starts.
All right. Let's see if someone makes my decision.
Oh, you're going to ruin my.
I know I'm going to ruin. I know.
I can't wait. I
know.
You know what, though?
I know. He knows.
Angie might ruin it for everybody, though. So we'll have to see if Angie ruins your pick, Julia.
Oh, she might actually. She might ruin my Joey. She might do it. Look.
Okay. Well, you know what? I need to pivot off this. I need to decide what else I'm going to do when it happens. All right.
So who's your son's number one target this year, Scott?
I honestly don't know. I do think he's going to take the 101 and I'm going to take the 112 and we're going to flip this year. I always take an end because I'm managing a lot of stuff. I like to get my picks in and just get back to work. So I think we're going to flip, and we haven't even filled our division. It's just two people in the division right now. We're going to try to figure out some fun way to fill it, but I don't know. We're running out of time. I don't know who his 101 is. Last I talked to him, he was thinking McCaffrey. So I don't know.
Not a bad choice.
Yeah, that's what his theory was. His theory was you only have to start one running back. I'll take McCaffrey, and then I'll hit all the other positions.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
So
did Julia take? Or did Angie take who you wanted, Julia?
No, and neither did Julia.
So everybody's all good.
Take him? Oh, that's funny. No. Okay. Yeah. I wanted that little stack there. So
I wanted the Richardson Taylor Pittman stack, even though it's week 14 and it's like, that's the playoffs.
You're welcome.
It's the worst time. Thank you. This is what you do. You make things happen for me. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I know that we're not drafting kickers tonight or anything, but what's the deal with the punting? How does that scoring work, Scott, with the punt returns and stuff?
10 points for a touchdown, 1 every 5 yards. Wow. It's so extreme. It's going to be really interesting. There are really good stat people that think that kick returners could enter into the top 10 in scoring in this league, which is going to make week 1 and 2 waivers and week 3 waivers just insane, I think.
Sure.
For the ones we don't know about yet.
In the FCEs, I took punters in my first round and almost all of them. I just wanted to. That's the time you can do it. Those are the fun times when you want to try different stuff like that. So as a matter of fact, Mike Florio, he came in the chat and he's like, Wendy, did you mean to take a punter as your first pick? And I'm like, yeah, I did, but thanks for asking.
Why not? All right, let's see what happens here.
Joey, mentioning
Ian, what's up, buddy?
Me mentioning Ian just earlier. He absolutely loves coming up on the live streams to talk wrestling with you.
We got to do it again.
We have started to annoy the parents in our friend groups because his friends come over and play WWE 2K24 on his Xbox on the projector downstairs. And then they go home and they want to start watching wrestling. And all the moms are like, what is this stupid stuff? And now the kids are getting into watching wrestling.
So you're no longer the favorite parent on the block is what you're telling me?
I don't think so.
They'll turn on you quick.
It went from none of them watching wrestling to I show Ian WrestleMania, and then he buys the game, and now 3 of them have bought the game. It's snowballing out here. Just a whole bunch of wrestling fans.
I don't like that pick, but whatever.
I was gonna say, Joey, I like that pick.
Okay.
I was hoping Kyron would fall to me because
Mm.
that's who I wanted there.
I think you dodged a bullet.
Am I the only one who doesn't think that Blake Corum's going to be like everything people think he's going to be? I think I'm the only one. I might be the only one.
I like Kyron.
I don't think
mean,
it's a Blake Corum. Yeah, my God.
You don't think it's no? Go.
I like
Please.
Blake Corum. I'm just not completely convinced in Kyron Williams. I think it's a complete workload issue with him. Like if he gets the work,
Yeah,
he'll produce well. I think
Yeah.
they now have 2 competent running backs, even though Sean McVay does kind of like to lean on one. It's a risky pick for me as early as I've seen Kyron going. He's starting to move down now, so I'm like, okay, I'm starting to breathe
yeah.
a
It's
little
like
bit on him.
course correcting just a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
When-
know. I
when
mean, go ahead,
Do you want
Scott.
to drop Angie's question on there?
Yes.
In a
Yep,
second.
that was
I don't
next.
want to interrupt, but
That was next.
yeah, so Jeff Ratcliffe of FTN has done it, and he's got kick returners in his top 10, and fantasy points, same thing. Just data crunching on how kick returns this year will be much more like the 2010, 2011 type years where it was basically double. They expect kick return stats to basically double what they've been since the rule changes. So FTN and fantasy points, both of those are subscriptions. So I don't know if you want to drop into that, but most sites are very cool about having SFB content free, given what it's all about. So you can check to see if that content's free.
Nice.
I don't know. Scampers thinks that Kyron is it, Joey.
I'm pro Kyron too. Sorry, Joey.
Look, to be fair,
Now wait a minute. But then the Cats agrees with
we're
Joey.
very split. We're very split. To be fair, I wouldn't put anything past Sean McVay. Like Sean McVay could pick up some random person off the freeway exit and pull him in and have him start for the Los Angeles Rams, right? Like that's the kind of guy he is. So nothing would surprise me.
Honestly,
Joey, what are you
Kyron
counting?
went as the 11th running back. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
He was going as like the RB6, and that's when I'm out. I can't.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But RB11, okay, I'm fine around Pacheco, Achan, like that's okay. Then I'm more comfortable with him. But I do like that Jacobs went before him. I do like that. And Jacobs could lead the league in rushing again this year.
So do you guys take into consideration like injuries and more specifically Jonathan Brooks? Julia, how do you feel about Jonathan Brooks? Are you drafting him at all?
I love him. I feel like he is
I
being
do too.
super undervalued.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in Dynasty, if I can get my hands on him in Dynasty, then I think he might be a top 8 running back next year. I mean, this guy is amazing. And we talk about it all the time. You see the ADP go down and the injury risk is baked in there, right? So it's like, you got to know that that's happening, but people have sort of pushed him down even further. I just don't understand why. He could be a true 3-down workhorse back, and you're getting him so cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in on Jonathan Brooks, Joey?
Absolutely. And I've been waiting for his value to rise up. And in best ball, it did by like about 20 spots, but it's still kind of hovering around 100th overall.
Yeah.
And it needs to come up because
didn't I get him in ours? Yeah, I got him in ours.
Oh, let me look. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
You did in the 6th round.
I mean, I haven't done a check. I don't think that could even be possible. There are some live events that have a good amount of women. LA always has a ton of women. But there's about 1,000 live drafters and there's about 4,000 total. So the math doesn't make sense that there's hundreds upon hundreds of women that play, but it doesn't make sense.
But you know what? I will say last year at the Chicago draft, there were 2 women. And I know for a fact already, I think there's 4 in my division alone.
Yeah.
So for the
Are you
live
in
draft.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually in Itasca. I think Steven Johnson is running that. And he does such a great job. He's awesome.
Yep.
So I'm really looking forward to that because I know there's more women this year. Last year was just me and Bethany Peters, and she's become a really good friend. I love her.
Awesome. I love Bethany.
Yep. Went to her birthday party in Chicago and had a great time, and just a really good person. And she does a lot of charity work as well. So thank you for bringing me together with her. And I'm hoping to meet, more women. A lot of the women that are coming are actually in the Unwind chat that Rachel runs every month or however often we can meet. And a lot of them are going to be at that live draft. So I've talked to them. I've seen them on a Zoom, but I'm actually going to get to hug them and hang out for a day. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's July 14th for us.
Yep. Same here. This is the third year in a row, Chicago and Minnesota the same day. So I once again can't go to Chicago. I want to, but yeah, Rachel does an awesome job with those unwinds. I told her a few weeks ago, I'm like, invite every single one of them. And get every one of them in SF. That's awesome that a bunch of them will be at Chicago. There's it's weird. There are some lives that LA, what are there, like, you've been to LA, Julia, what are there, Julia, there's like 15, 20 women there? It's like a ton.
Yeah, there's a ton of women. I feel like there were like at least three in my division. I feel like each division had on average 3 to 5, and there was that one division, the one that was in the kitchen. The one that was in the kitchen had like half women.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
that doesn't seem right.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. I just realized that was the Harrison Butker division. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Set you up and you just spiked it for me.
You can do stuff as long as you're in the kitchen.
I know. Oh, the irony there.
How rewarding was that draft for you when you were in the kitchen? I mean, did you feel like that just took over all the work you'd ever done in your life?
I wasn't in the kitchen. I was in the corner.
Oh, you were.
I was in the corner.
I feel like that was the division Ian went in and ripped on a bunch of people's picks.
Yeah, he was great because I think I gave him like $10 to talk about how great mine was.
He did not tell me that.
I think I did either that, and I was like, you should talk crap about that team too over there or something. Yeah. He is a smart kid, Scott. He's incredible. He's a good kid. We had
people
fun
love him at Minneapolis Live every year. It's weird to me when I go out to LA with with so many women that, like, the Minnesota one has like 4 or 5, and there are some cities that only have a few, and Wendy was mentioned 2, and oh man, I want that up. I'm so glad there's more this year in Chicago, but yeah, I tried.
And you had mentioned that the first time when you came on the Game Changers, I told you at that time, I'm like, there was only 2 women last year, and you were like so disappointed, and you were like, that has to change, and it did change, so and it's going to continue to change.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's good that it's changing. That's very good. We need more. Dallas has a ton.
Right. I mean, I guess it makes sense. You think of like the bigger cities, and then it slowly goes to some of like the smaller places. I don't know. That's the only thing that I could think about.
Yeah, I don't know, but at least we're getting in a better spot. Year over year, we're getting in a better spot with all that.
Yeah, it's the best.
Okay, Joey, I have a question.
Yeah, let's talk.
Yes, please. Zay Flowers. Let's go back to the Zay Flowers pick. I picked him the other day, and I felt bad about it after I did it.
You should feel electric, just like he is on the field.
Okay.
There's something I say pretty much on every mock draft show I go on. There's one part of fantasy football that people I think forget about, and it's supposed to be fun. When I'm between 2 players, like, I love watching Zay Flowers to play, and I'm going to watch these games on Sundays and Thursdays and Mondays and Saturdays and one Friday this year. I want to see Zay Flowers as much as possible because when he gets the ball in his hands, it's just fun to watch. So I was actually between him and T. Higgins, and I'm like, I'm going to take Flowers because I have more fun watching Flowers to play, and I'm that close between them. And then I got lucky that I got Higgins on the way back. So I think it's a good pick to have.
And then, Julia, you had Cooper Kupp. I'm still in on him, or I'm back in on him.
Yeah, I was deciding, honestly, at that spot, I was deciding between Cooper Kupp and Malik Neighbors. And I kind of I have Marvin Harrison, so I was like, yeah, let's try someone a little more proven. And I also think Kupp is going to have a bounce back year. I think people are just really forgetting how close we were to that incredible year that he had when he was, won everything. He did everything. Yeah, and I think that offense again is going to be solid. So yeah, and like Joey said, like I do like Cooper Kupp. I like rooting for that guy. So
and this is why buy and sell you is like get your guys
Yeah.
in Scott Fishbowl.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sam, his name's Sam. Sam is
Yep.
absolutely right about that. It is a 4,000 team tournament. Your odds of winning are like, and just have fun. Just have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why, you know what, Scott, last year when I went to the Chicago draft, they had they had all the raffles and they had all the prizes, and I bought a bunch of raffle tickets, and my raffle ticket got pulled and they had a trophy smack ring, and that thing was gorgeous. I'm like, it is so beautiful, and everybody's like, don't pick the ring, you're gonna jinx yourself, you're gonna not, and I'm like, that son of a gun went home with me. When I had the chance to get it, I took it because it's beautiful. I knew I wasn't going to win the Scott Fishbowl, but I got the dang ring, man. It is nice.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous ring. I love that ring. And it's not year specific like a lot of the shirts and a lot of stuff we do are. It's just, it's got work hard on one side, be a good person on the other. It's just, I love that thing. Such a good ring.
I know. I gave Andy Barons a run for his money. He's the raffle king, in case you don't know.
Yes.
He is the raffle king.
Self-proclaimed raffle king.
He is. But you know what? I think I won 4 items last year, and he only won 2. So he's got a little bit of competition with me. I'm just saying.
Oh,
wow.
Sweepstakes. You got to call it a sweepstakes in Chicago.
Joey, you okay?
The amount I've learned over the last couple of years about raffle laws. And
yeah, that's true. That's true.
And lottery laws and all this. Oh my gosh, it's absurd. But yes, you're in Chicago. Call it a sweepstakes, please.
That's funny.
Sweepstakes. I know, and that's, we laugh about it, but it's pretty important. You and I actually did have a pretty long conversation about the charity work that you do, and you have to really watch. There's a lot of laws, and there's a lot of bad things going on out there where people aren't getting paid, and what you do is helped us with the Battle of the Sexes tournament to be able to see, hey, this is how you need to do it, and it's the right way to do it, so the charity, just like you said, the wording, you really have to watch all of that.
It is crazy, but you do it's, and I really respect the ones that are not just doing it by the book, but at least trying to do it by the book. Like, so many of them have good hearts and they're trying to do the right thing. I love the amount of charity tournaments and leagues and stuff out there. It's wonderful.
It was just crazy though. I had a friend that was doing raffles with the spin wheel, on Facebook. And I'll tell you what, she was making bank, and she thought she was doing it the right way. She was paying taxes. People were paying her through PayPal, all that. The actual Indiana Gaming Commission showed up at her front door, knocking on her door with
front door.
Yes, they did, with a cease and desist letter. And she's lucky she didn't go to jail. She was like, oh my God, I thought I was going to go to jail. My kids were looking out the window. And, so you really do have to make sure that you're doing it properly. So
raffles are a big deal. There's every state has different laws on raffles. It's those are a really big deal.
Yeah,
I've learned a lot about raffles and just any of those lottery-based games. It's a lot. Well, I already thought I knew a lot because I'm in legal fantasy contest gaming. So like the gaming and gambling side, I've known laws. I've been in that for 7 years, and I thought I knew a lot. But man, learned so much. But I feel like the draft is progressing here. We're in the 8th round. That's
I'm just gonna look in the camera as she picks and just shake my head because I know she's gonna take.
Julie, can I ask you a question? I didn't mean to cut you off, Wendy. If I did, I'm sorry. I was just in the draft that I just noticed that like Julia and Joey are back to back and they are
It was meant to be.
known snipers of each other.
Yeah, Joey, I was deciding between those two,
Mhm.
and I always
You've
take
not
Jonathan.
sniped me yet.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's gonna come, but it has not happened.
I know it will. Scott, so Joey picked his spot first, and I actually picked it just because it was before Joey. So I think because I'm in the 7 spot usually, but I was like, let's just go ahead and
You'll get to
see.
practice. It's good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's and
The
again,
best
like
platform
Joey
on the
said,
internet.
fantasy football is supposed to be fun. So sitting
Yep.
here and doing this stuff, right?
Just talking and hanging out. We got Scott Fish with us. My gosh.
Yeah. We are living our
Who
best
am
lives right
I?
now.
I'm
Living our
telling
best
you.
lives.
Here's the weird thing about this. I did not send a wave here, and the only 2 people who can send invites are me and Ryan. So Ryan's going rogue out there. I think I will take half credit, but it definitely wasn't me. It was Ryan going rogue and sending invites outside of a wave.
Oh, so you didn't even know those were going out today?
No, but I don't mean no as in Ryan, you're doing something wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
no, Ryan has full access to do that stuff. So,
all right, we have a question for Scott. I think that's a pretty good question there. What do you think?
I don't think so. Like it is a little surreal to me how big it's gotten. I don't sleep as much as I should. That's for sure. I should sleep more. But no, I feel like every step I've grown everything at a reasonable pace.
What happened? Joey, we lost him.
I'm gonna guess just got sniped on Ridley or something.
Oh, did Hema got you? She got you.
Pivot.
All right, I'm gonna break the seal. I'm gonna be the one that does
Oh, you spicy.
it. It was a while before he went too.
Rashid Shaheed is gonna be insane this year. I'm not saying points. I mean in drafts. I've seen him go in the second, the third, every round. I swear, nobody knows what to do with him.
Oh my god!
So I was on the Fantasy and Frames show earlier today, and he went in the mid-3rd, and he goes in the what?
I mean, that's a pretty good value. I would love to have him at that.
It's because I started the show talking about Taysom Hill taking that role.
Did you think? Okay, so obviously, what if Rashid Shaheed hops on Twitter and he's like, "That's so weird. Why am I trending?" Right? He's like, "I'm just back here doing what I can. Why am I trending?" And then he starts to scroll and he's like, "Oh,
what is this Scott Fishbowl?"
Oh,
yeah,
that yeah.
But
I would love for him to tweet something like oh man, I'm not doing returns this year. During the fishbowl or something.
See, that's what I'm worried about is that Shaheed he proved himself as a wide receiver quite a bit last year.
Yeah.
Do they just put somebody else back there returning kicks and just save him for the field? I don't know. There goes Marvin Mims. Yeah.
But either way, Joey, even if he did prove himself as a wide receiver, then you've gotten someone who's a wide receiver, right? You might not be getting points how you anticipated it, but you win either way, Joey. You win either way.
Well, so just speaking for my build, if Shaheed would have been a wide receiver 3, I would have gone somebody like Lad McConkey or Keon Coleman, someone I feel a little safer with as an actual wide receiver because I was looking for my wide receiver 4 spot. That's why I was completely fine taking Shaheed. Because at that point, he's a flex for me. I mean, technically he's a flex. And once you're past wide receiver 1, they're all flexes in this format. But, so.
Got another question for Scott there.
That's a good question.
That feels like it's exactly how it works, right? I have no control over how the hosts use them, the host sites.
So you just need to know whatever when you're drafting
I feel like even though the data hasn't proven out for 2 years, I feel like the kicker thing should be an advantage for MFL, but the data people don't seem to care, and they just the users are a variable you can't control, and the kickers have been an advantage for Sleeper the last 2 years. I feel like the Taysom Hill thing, that's a Sleeper advantage. They're just going to have that. So pick your league host accordingly. MFL, I talked to them today about Taysom Hill. I didn't bring it up. They actually told me that they're leaving Taysom at quarterback. And so that's where it's going to sit. So
That's interesting.
I think that's fair.
Well,
honestly,
I never understand how hosts do it. Like, if I ran a host, I would be like, whatever the official depth chart says, I'm just going to do that because it's so black and white. Like, it's such an out too, you know. But yeah, they have their own decisions to make.
And those are on Sleeper.
Yeah, almost all of them are on Sleeper. We're gonna have a couple MFLs in Boston because we're showcasing a few things, but most of them are on Sleeper. I just don't like the argument. I don't like having to deal with that with live organizers and the people in the lives, and they're all on Sleeper except for Boston.
I personally love Sleeper. I have no complaints.
Yeah, me too. I play on 5 platforms. I really don't have any complaints about any. They all have good and bad. They all have their quirks. It is what it is.
So you're saying like MFL just reach out to you. Hey, Scott, let's talk.
Yeah. Yep.
That's amazing. Totally amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. It's nice. I'm glad they let me know because it's important for me to know. So.
Well, yeah, especially with everything. I mean, everything's coming up quick. You know, it seems like it's so far away, but it's not. What'd you say? 9 days?
9 days until the first live draft.
Live.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Not even 9 days now.
Yeah, it's 8 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you coming to Fort Lauderdale, Scott? Like, that's my surprise, right?
I wish, Joey. I truly wish.
Well, we can't tell you if it's a surprise.
I'm bringing my wife.
6th or 7th, right? 7th. So, yeah, I'll be in Denver.
No, we're gonna show up. Give me a big old hug.
Like which one? Which one are we thinking is going to hit on the wide receivers in Kansas City?
Zamet, right? Zamet, is that his name? The rugby player.
Yeah.
Zamet. Pick Zamet. Actually, I think he's listed as a running back. So
I was hoping Spears was going to fall to me. Oh, blurg. Oh, blurg.
Sam, I do love to do those eliminators too. Those are some of the fun ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll be in LA. I fly in that morning. I fly out that night.
I am running into all kinds of little corners in this draft of just bye weeks lining up badly for me. I have not experienced this year so far.
Well, so what are the nightmare bye weeks that everyone's talking about, though, Joey? Oh, you're up. I'll let you. How about you, Scott? The nightmares of the bye weeks. What weeks are those?
The bipocalypses.
I'm honestly not sure. I don't remember.
It's like around 12, I think, right? 11, 12, somewhere around there.
Well, the playoffs start in week 11, right, Scott?
Yeah, they start in week 12. Yep.
Week 12. Okay.
Oh, there you go. Here, Scott.
Let me check my my radio schedule. Week 7 and week 13 look like the worst ones. Maybe it's 14. Yeah, the week after Thanksgiving has 6 teams on bye.
So, Julia, let's talk about Tony Pollard.
Yeah, I was in a bit of a pickle there. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't love Tony Pollard, but I didn't love a lot of other people who were there, and it became I was thinking about Keon Coleman, but again, I have a couple rookies already, and I kind of wanted to be a little more even out in case not all of those guys hit. You don't really know what's going to happen with Coleman in Buffalo. He might end up taking off, or he might not be what we thought he was. He might just have a sparkling personality. So yeah, That's where I was with that. I realized how profound that sounds. That was not a great explanation on Tony Pollard. So, yeah. But how great is Keon Coleman, though? How great are those press conferences?
Hilarious.
We've had the debate
God,
between
the
him
joy.
and Xavier Leggett, like who's
Oh,
the better interview.
they're
It's tough. It's tough.
you can't compare them because they're both wonderful special butterflies and they should be treasured equally. So that's
That
a
Justin
great
Fields
question.
pick might be sneaky good because if he
Yeah.
returns kick like he does on Madden right now.
Oh my
boy.
God.
What do you
draft
think on
is
this, Joey?
wacky. What do I think of what?
Is Pollard or Spears the pass catching back in Tennessee this year?
I think it'll be Spears. Oh
no! Why?
Did she get you again? She got you again?
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen.
Scampers, no on Terrace Marshall. You know the day, like I was in on Terrace Marshall. Like
It's
I
fourth year breakout.
I liked him.
If Kyle is still in the chat, he's going to talk about Terrace Marshall.
The day I was out on Terrace Marshall is I was watching tape his first year, and mid play, the play isn't even over, and because he didn't get thrown the ball, he throws his arms up in the air like this. Like he doesn't go to help block. He's just like he's done with the play mid play complaining. I'm like, Dude, the play is not over. You can come help your teammate, and he's complaining he didn't get the ball. I'm like, no, I'm out.
So a guy's attitude is going to change the way you feel about him, is what you're saying.
I think that kind of attitude loses playing time and doesn't get the ball.
I'm on the clock. Here we go.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no. Oh, no. Oh, blurred. Hold on. We're just going to do that. That was too fast. I got distracted.
What were you doing? Julia?
Wendi, I was sending a text. Wendi, that's what I was doing. I'm sorry. I got distracted. I thought, but you know what? Sometimes I'll get distracted in real life, and I have to know how to pivot. Derek Carr has been my late round solid extra quarterback in pretty much everything I've been doing. So,
well, and in Joey's build that he's making over there, I happen to notice. I know you have Travis Kelce, but in a tight end premium division or league, like, how come you don't have another one yet? How come you don't have another tight end yet?
Because what is with my watch? I don't like any of the ones here, and I want to snipe Julia. So, I like one.
But I'm up before you, Joey.
This time
with Laporta, Kelce, McBride, Kincaid, Andrews. My one and only strategy, like true strategy in every Scott Fishbowl mock draft I've been, but when I go to actually draft, I am going to walk away with one of those tight ends, most likely in the second round, because I don't want to risk it. When Julia took Laporta in the first round, I got nervous because I've seen in mock drafts, the first person that takes a tight end starts a run. So I was like, oh crap, if a run's coming, I might be lucky to get Andrews. And then when Kelce was there in the second round, I was happy. If any of those tight ends, which I have seen happen, fall to the third round, I'll take another one. Outside of those five guys, I need to see some good value before I take another tight end.
All right.
Who are your late round tight end targets, Joey? Asking for a friend.
For me? Right?
No, to be fair, I'm going to tell you, I do have two tight ends already. So I'm wondering, outside of the ones that we would, kind of speak about or don't speak about, is there any other people that you oftentimes target?
I like the Senator, and I know I said it out loud. I'm sorry. I want to see who ends up. Jelani Woods is the tight end in Indianapolis. I think it'd be really interesting. It showed last year that Anthony Richardson did target his tight ends. Mm-hmm. So I think that could be a sneaky tight end that really is going undrafted in every Scott Fishbowl mock that I've been doing, even with the tight end premium. So if I get a clear-cut picture on who that tight end is in Indiana, and then Eric All for Cincinnati, I think he could just get that tight end job.
I like him too. Thoughts on Greg Dulcich? Big old Greg.
I like it. I do.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of rookie quarterbacks coming in. I think they tend to lean on tight ends a little bit. So Dulcich I'd be happy to see him and Bo Nix get a little relationship going.
Me and you, we're the same, bro. Me and you.
All right. So Scott, what about Brian Edwards?
I think you said that right after the Terrace Marshall thing.
Yeah.
Like, people, players we all thought and wanted to be a thing. Yeah, I get it. I don't know.
Oh, and this one's for you, Julia. There's no texting in mock football.
Oh, God, fine. Can I tell you, you asked a question about Brian Edwards. There is a guy named Brian Edwards who's a PA on my show, and every time I hear anyone talk about Brian Edwards, either one of them, it makes me laugh because I automatically always think about the other one.
Nice.
Wendi, I want to point something out for myself. Earlier in the show, you were saying you were nervous. I completely blanked on the name of the Colts tight end, and that's why I was scrolling and looking. So I'm like, oh my god, what was
it
the
was
name?
Mo Alley Cox. That's who you're thinking of.
But see, you don't got to be perfect. You just, got to be funny, I think. But I'm still trying to work on the funny thing. I just took that from Scott, so he couldn't say it.
Nice.
Julia's coming up. Scott, I'm going to ask you a question. Wendi, I'm going to derail your show.
Thanks.
How do you feel about Sony buying Alamo Drafthouse? I am
it's
so
all you can talk about. It's all you can talk about.
Oh my god.
Permeated every show you've been on, every conversation you've had. Oh my gosh.
It's so interesting.
I mean, I gotta be on brand. I'm so sorry, Joey.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
Okay.
fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, you took your
What
do you call him, the senator?
Well, yeah, that's a Mike Wright nickname that he came up with, which I think is absolutely fantastic.
Wait a minute. Oh no.
Joey's thinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this guy.
That's yeah, fair.
To just because you want to snipe Gemma on that or Hema on that cuff. Is that it?
No, but that feels good now that I know I did that. Here's a lesson for you folks. I was so worried about Julia on the show today. I didn't even think about Yema. Like,
look at that sandwich. Look at that Joey sandwich
sneaky.
we got.
She's sneaky.
Seriously.
She's little. She's tiny. She can just come right in,
sneaky.
man.
I had her husband on a show earlier as the guest, and she was doing intel the whole time. They're sneaky. I'm coming to Mexico City next year. I was supposed to be this year. Yema, I am going to draft you into the dirt next year in Mexico City. That's it.
Sheesh.
Scott
Gauntlet
Kobe in the
throne. Oh man.
well, Scott Kobe in the chat's got the Wyatt Six are a wrestling group. They're kind of horror based or whatever, like scary stuff, fog, darkness, etc. When it came out, the remake of it, I would go on streams and I would have a red balloon that I would have released behind me so that there was just for fun.
Scott.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that until now. If I had remembered, that would have been a great prop.
Oh, good Lord.
You just have it under your chair, like you have it tied to your chair, have it underneath, and you just have it pop up behind you randomly during the show. Oh, it's great. Oh, forgot about that.
Oh man.
You got to add flavor to the shows. It's fun.
No,
Absolutely.
You really do. Oh, no. All right.
Oh, she's
am
on
I
the
doing
clock
now?
here.
What am
I made a
doing
pick
now?
that only you can have insight in on. Ty Chandler with the Vikings with the return points. Is that a bad pick in the 13th round?
With the return points, Nwangu's gonna do most of the returns.
Yeah.
I will say, Ty Chandler came to the Vikings Kids event that I go to the Vikings Kids events because my kids are part of the Vikings Kids Club, and they only have like punters and backup cornerbacks and backup safeties, and Ty Chandler was at the last one, and I'm like, Ty Chandler, what are you doing here? Like, because it's like the backups of the backups that go to these things, and I'm like, I don't know. It's a good sign.
That's a good, yeah.
He's going to
that might be
special
a sign.
teams.
The
Great
kids
pick.
loved it. Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Like, the kids loved it, but the fact that he was there, I was like, wait a second. Or they do. Like, I will say, KOC does love Ty Chandler. He is definitely the backup, but he's definitely the backup.
So who would you guys say is the rookie quarterback that is walking into the best possible situation, is going to score the most points for fantasy purposes?
I think those are two different statements sometimes.
Yeah. Aha.
I do think that's true. I agree with
Yeah, Caleb's walking into the best situation, but I think Daniels could score the most points.
They're going to be behind all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Caleb Williams situation is so intriguing because we really have never seen this, right? We've never seen a rookie quarterback come in with the feast that is in front of him, like a House of the Dragon feast, right? Like a wedding feast. And he's got everyone and anyone to throw to. And he's talented and he's got all this stuff and he's got the city behind him and everything. So that'll be super exciting to watch. It'll be exciting for Chicago.
If you think about it, other than Bo Nix, like all those rookie quarterbacks kind of walked into really good situations.
Yeah.
Like even Penix, if Penix plays, and not this year, but next year, like they say Kirk Cousins after 1 year he leaves, Penix has got a great team there with him. Like I'm terrified of Atlanta as a Bucs fan this year. Like I think Atlanta's winning that division.
Yeah.
So are you saying, if you're saying Atlanta's going to win that division, are you in on Kyle Pitts?
It doesn't happen now. When's it going to happen?
But didn't we say that last year?
Fool me once, fool me twice. Yeah. I mean,
I think it's a lot easier to be in on Kyle Pitts at his value right now. Last year when he was going as the tight end 3, tight end 4, that's a little scary, but he's pretty consistently going as like the 6 or 7 tight end. And I think you can do that. Where did he go in this draft compared to? Okay, he went at the end of the second round. That's
Mr. Butter is right. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. That is true. Yeah, I'm up here in Minnesota. I not only have I have a lot of friends in media and friends very connected to the team. A lot of people would be very shocked if Darnold doesn't start at least the first 6 weeks, but most likely most of the season, if not the whole season.
When is their bye, Scott?
6. So having Darnold start until.
Oh, that's a nice pick with Gibson pick.
But yeah, it's a lot of people really think it's Darnold's job for potentially the whole season, which is, but
I mean,
or when they're out of it, buy at the earliest. Yeah.
I don't know. Let's
feel the same
live
way.
on the edge and let's see if this guy runs back some kicks here. Let's try it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, at the end, why not? He might run something back. He might.
Yeah, you never know.
Let's see.
You did. That was it. You finally did it. You sniped me. I said.
Did I sniped you with Antonio Gibson?
I said, "Where's Antonio Gibson?"
Snipe?
Yeah.
Right.
That's the snipe. That's.
I mean, if that's the snipe, I was wanting him, so I flipped my mouse.
Oh, the mouse flipped, everyone.
Yemma got the. She got the.
Was it 1995? You got a mouse going on back there?
Yeah, I got a little mouse there.
Oh, there you go.
A little Apple mouse. The magic.
I would have appreciated if you held up an actual mouse, like a Disney mouse.
Like this one.
What?
What was that?
That was my Disney mouse.
So we have in our backyard we have a hummingbird nest, and it's the same hummingbird. She's come back 5 times, and we know it's the same one. We've named her Sansa.
How do you know?
Oh, she's the same one because like my husband is 6'3". She doesn't flinch when he walks under her. And he started ordering all of these hummingbird feeders because he wants to like feed the hummingbird. And so like sometimes I see him sitting out there and he has like one in his hand and like she'll come really close and stuff. And then I found a squirrel that I named Alan, who I now feed nuts to. And one day my husband just goes, "We're going to be a Disney movie. You're feeding the squirrel, and I've just got hands out for hummingbirds."
Yep.
Oh, suburban life.
If Yema snipes me here, I'm gonna be really
Are you gonna
mad.
lose it? Are you gonna lose
I will
it?
because I want to talk about the guy. I mean, I can still talk about the guy, I guess.
Oh man, I can't wait for her pick. Here we go.
I don't think she will. I don't think there's a way she can.
I want to know who it is.
She's really smart. She is truly, one of the best fantasy players out there. So if she did, it wouldn't surprise me.
Gamper still wants some AJP,
No.
right?
No, I should do it just for old time's sake.
You really should for stay on brand.
Still, he was the best Broncos running back last year on a per touch basis.
I know he was.
I got scared that she did it. Nope. All right. So another guy I'm going to leave every draft with this year, Demarcus Robinson. Even if he's still the wide receiver 3 there in Los Angeles, look what he did at the end of the season. It was over 13 PPR fantasy points in his last 4 games. Heaven forbid, if something were to happen to Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua, Demarcus Robinson could be a stud, and he's going late double-digit rounds.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
Mm-hmm. Whew. I like the team a lot better now.
Demarcus Robinson is what gelled it together for you.
After losing Antonio Gibson, he had to bounce back with Demarcus Robinson.
When you start off a draft, sometimes you're like, "Oh man, I don't know how this is working out. I don't know how this is working out." And then when you look at the whole picture, like, okay, it's not as bad as I was envisioning. If the return yards really does do something, Rashid Shaheed and Shakir, those will be 2 nice picks. If it's not,
so are you happy with your team,
know.
Joey?
I'm hearing Antonio Gibson's going to be the return man, and that's right, Shakir move. That's right, Shakir move.
I did feel a lot better about Antonio Gibson before today when the Patriots gave the Rhino all that money, and I think the Patriots.
Don't you feel better for him to return kicks then? Since they gave
to return kicks. But I honestly think the Patriots overpaid him because my zoo near my house got 2 rhinos for a lot less money. So
I saw that response.
Yeah. I'm trying to make that joke happen, but Hawk Tua just keeps taking over today. So what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Oh man, my face hurts from laughing.
How many people do that? How many people do that stack in SFB just for the joke?
Oh gosh, it's gonna happen so much.
Yeah,
it's bad when my friends that are they play fantasy but they're not in it have already started naming their teams out. I was like, oh, it's gonna be the 2 girls 1 cup all over again.
Oh God.
So, yeah, get ready, folks.
Yep.
Oh man.
All right, Julia, how are you feeling about your team?
Ooh, like that.
I feel pretty good. I'm stoked that I got Kamani Vidal at the end. I never know how to pronounce his name because I feel like he has the potential behind, 1 old man and 1 half broken man that he could easily slide right in there quickly. I think for a last pick, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, I mean, I think I feel pretty good. It's like Joey said, you kind of sometimes you don't know where you're going when you're in it, and then you have to stop and zoom out and look at the whole I mean, fair.
Sorry, Joey. I guess you lost the mock because you didn't get Antonio Gibson.
You guys can go back in the show. There was a moment where I go, "Who took Antonio Gibson?" Because I thought he was gone, and I was like, "Oh." And then,
to be fair, I didn't even hear that. Maybe I was texting at the time.
You probably were.
You seem to do that when you go on shows. Just text the whole time.
Just text the whole time.
But see, here's how full of hubris I am. As I was like, "Oh, she's texting me." Looked at my phone.
No.
Just 7 mixed tests from Scott. That's it.
It was to the husband making sure the child has eaten dinner. I was like, "Did you feed him?"
So it looks like we got. I'm taking a look at some of the different teams here. I'm seeing Bro Cal is kind of heavy on the wide receivers there.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
and I love that build right there.
Mm-hmm. That's really nice.
Yeah, I like that. I like Jake Ferguson, Xavier Worthy in there. I mean, he's got the Kansas City receiving core tied up.
Anybody else's team kind of popping out at you that you really like?
Going through it here. Let's see.
Joey, I haven't texted you since Wednesday. There's like 11 people above me.
If Deshaun Watson can return to form in Cleveland, Kyler Murray and Deshaun Watson is a really interesting combination.
Do we think he will?
No, I don't. But if he does, yeah.
What do we think Cleveland does if he does not return to form this year?
Jameis, baby, let's go.
He's
the
too
most
am a
exciting
fan of
quarterback in the
Jameis,
league.
but is Cleveland just going to say we sold the farm and that's it?
I mean, what else can they do?
I know, man. We need Jameis Winston, man. He needs to be like the joy that man has for playing football is just unrivaled.
I'm trying to see what team I like. I like Julia's team.
Are you saying it's a nice build? Is it a nice build, Joey?
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I like Wild Rosie. I like it a lot. They got CeeDee Lamb. I'm high on him in this format. They got good value on Dalton Kincaid, Jordan Love and Baker with Russell Wilson, who was the sneaky QB 17, so he can put some good weeks up last year. Rashad White's going to catch passes from Baker because that's all he can do because he can't run through the line. Musgrave, another. Yeah. Wild Rosie is a winner for me. That's the team I like.
All right. I love her.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite of scampers. Like basically my entire phone is just fantasy football people.
Well, Scott, we are so happy that you joined us tonight. You're going to have another wave coming pretty soon?
Yeah, I think tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
If we can get a bunch of people in the queue, yeah, I think we'll try to do one tomorrow. We got what?
Do you have a goal this year for donations? Do you ever set a goal?
I think we kind of do, but it's pretty loose. I honestly don't even know what the goal. I think the goal for this year was $500,000, but
I kind of saw that, but I wasn't sure if that was correct information or not. I was looking around, but man, would that be freaking amazing or what?
Last year was 278,000, so I think the goal was substantially higher. I'm not sure where we sit on it, honestly. I haven't looked at the numbers. I could ask our treasurer, but and
you know what? And it's not a required. You don't have to donate.
No.
But if you're able to, or even if you're not playing, people need to follow you. Can you tell everybody where to find you, Scott, in case they don't know?
Yeah, sure. Scottfish24 on pretty much everything. scottfishbowl.com to sign up for the Fishbowl, fantasycares.org if you want to support that. We run a lot of contests through the year. The best way to donate to Fantasy Cares, though, is Venmo at the Joey Wright. That is probably the best way to support us.
You got me $8 last week by doing that on the show.
Are you serious? I did this on a different show. I said, oh my God. Oh, I got to stop the joke now.
No, keep it going.
Oh, that's funny. That's so funny.
I need gas money to get to Fort Lauderdale in 8 days.
Well, everyone, I think that's going to about wrap things up for tonight. I want to thank everyone that drafted with us today, as well as my wonderful co-host, Julia. Welcome back, by the way, Julia. Can you tell us how your trip was last week? I want to know. I need to know.
We went to Disneyland and walked 24,000 steps, and I don't know how these children do it. I was exhausted. We were both dying. But that's parenthood, right? And the kid just
welcome
bouncing
back,
off the walls the whole time.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yep.
And a big thank you to Joey for joining us tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure. And I know I was so nervous, but you did such a good job of making me not nervous. Thank you. So if you could remind everyone where they can find you, Joey.
You can find me at Football Guys. I'm out there hanging around. And then every Thursday at 3:00 Eastern time with the Front Yard Fantasy Game Show. And every now and then, Scott just sends me these links to the Fantasy Care streams, and I pop on there and hang out. And then my favorite times on there is when I get to talk about wrestling with Ian. I know Ian and I are doing a SummerSlam preview in a couple of weeks. We're going to run through that.
Oh, awesome.
Truly, the best time I have on camera now is hanging out with Ian, talking about wrestling. So We'll do
I
that
love
again soon.
it.
So cool.
Excellent. And hey,
That's so
Julia, why don't
cool.
you tell everyone where they can find you when you're not hanging out with me on Thursday nights?
Usually I'm sniping Joey in a mock draft or an actual draft somewhere. You can find me doing that on Sleeper. Otherwise, yeah, we're writing for the Fantasy Footballers and for Football Guys. I almost did that without laughing. So, yeah,
Almost.
that's where you find all my stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, on next week's episode, we will be hosting one last Scott Fishbowl 14 mock draft. We're going to do one last ride, and we're going to have none other than the newly married Kendall Valenzuela. She is going to be here. Yeah. So we get to hear a little bit about her honeymoon and her wedding. I'm so excited. But this has been episode 3 of Women of Fantasy Football's Mock Girl Summer. You can find us here on the Women of Fantasy Football and Club Fantasy FFL YouTube channels every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have different guests each and every week doing different drafts to help you get ready for your 2024 fantasy football leagues. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe and show us the love as we keep this show going. There's so many great shows on Club Fantasy and WOFF channels, so when you subscribe, you never miss any of them. We have mock drafts, DFS, Best Ball, Dynasty, Club Fantasy, and WOFF have you covered for everything. For Julia and Joey and Scott Fish, I'm Wendi Earley. It's a mock girl summer, y'all. Y'all take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.